Hello everyone, Superhero Brothers Talk Show here. This is Trevor, and me and Tanner are about to review this Captain America Civil War Marvel Legends series 3-pack of a battle-damaged Iron Man, Captain America, and Spider-Man with Cap's shield. This is pretty dope looking. Tanner picked this up actually a couple weeks ago, and we've been a bit slow lately on our reviews, so we are cracking down on a couple things right now, which means lots of content coming out soon. So here we go. First of all, let's look at the box. You can see the names of the figures right here, all the warning signs. You have to be 4 and up, yada yada yada. Go to the side. You have a pretty cool picture of Iron Man. Looks like it's from a comic book. Right back here, you got a little read up along with the symbol. You got the characters out of the box, languages, bottom of the box. Other side is Captain America, and then the front. All right, let's get this thing open. Tanner's gonna review these two. I'm gonna review this bad boy.
Okay guys, here is the Spider-Man, and I have noticed a few inaccuracies in this figure, but besides those inaccuracies, I gotta say this figure is super awesome. I'm gonna compare it to the Homecoming Spider-Man. This is pretty cool. I gotta say that even though there are some inaccuracies throughout this figure, it is a pretty unique looking Spider-Man. One of the inaccuracies is the Spider logo on the back. If you compare it to the Homecoming Spider logo on the back, this one's more like original, kind of cartoony looking, but this is the actual one that you see in Homecoming. This is much different, which is kind of strange. I don't know why. But then there's a lighter blue on this figure compared to this one, and also on the heels right here there is black. So I don't know if they really knew what they were doing yet with this figure, or maybe there is black on this heel. I'm not sure. I doubt it though. And then also the Spider logo on the front, this is much different compared to this one right here. This is more comical looking. The head scans are much different. This is more of a gray looking webbing going throughout, and this is more dark. And I don't think there's many other differences. This comes more to a point, this one doesn't. I think the webbing is pretty much the same throughout the figure, other than the lining and stuff throughout the legs. But this is a pretty awesome looking Spider-Man. This is the first ever MCU Spider-Man to come out from Civil War, so very awesome. A lot of people were excited when this first came out, as well as me. I did get this a little later. This came out, I believe, in 2016, so that was a couple years ago, but I finally got my hands on this one. So now I have every single MCU Spider-Man action figure, which is pretty awesome, and we're going to compare them to all of the other ones at the end of the video. So here is the second figure in the set, which is the Captain America, and I've seen a ton of video reviews on this one, and a ton of people say that this is their least favorite figure out of this set. My brother's going to review Iron Man, so once he's done with Iron Man, I got to see which one is my least favorite and which one's my favorite. But I got to say, they put a lot of detail on this figure, starting with the shield. There's a lot of burnt marks and a lot of scratches. A lot of people are complaining that there is some scratches on here, but they wish they could have had the like Black Panther scratch marks. But you could say that these are Black Panther scratch marks, but I don't really think they are. But it's very cool to get a Captain America shield that's damaged. We don't really ever get these, which is kind of cool that we get this. And on the back, it's just the basic silver with the brown handles. That's pretty much it for the Captain America shield. And then moving along with the Captain America, this is pretty much the same as the Giant Man Build-A-Figure wave Captain America from Civil War, just with some battle damaged, and I think it's a darker color. So on the top there is some battle damaged. I'm assuming this is like from the final battle. There's some dark black looking stuff on his helmet from some battle damage fighting Iron Man. And there's some stained white right there, as well as on the blue. Very nice. And then I think there is some darkness running throughout the legs. I can't really tell. And then just some dark boots, and that's pretty much it, guys. It's pretty much the same as the Giant Man Build-A-Figure Captain America. And then I think this is an inaccuracy. I do not believe that it said Avengers in the movie on the side right there. I think that was torn off because he's not in the Avengers anymore, and I don't really know. I do not remember seeing that in the movie. It might have been in the beginning of the movie, but that's pretty much it for the Captain America. Let's get into the Iron Man. So before we move on to the Iron Man, I forgot to mention that there is the head included in this set. It's nothing special, nothing amazing. You can't pop it off. This came with like numerous other Captain America action figures. Kind of tough to pop it on. Yeah, there we go. Come on, there we go. So there is the Steve Rogers head scan. Not too bad. I mean, it looks like it could be Steve Rogers. Just it really doesn't look like Chris Evans. I mean, if you look closely enough, you could kind of see it, but I don't really see it. But that's pretty much it for the Captain America. Let's get to the Iron Man.
All right, so as you can see, we have the Iron Man out, and in this pose, this is kind of like the famous pose from the movie, where Iron Man was just tearing Captain America apart before Bucky helped Captain America cheat and win. But, you know, all of my opinions aside on how the fight should have gone down, and how it kind of did go down. Oh, look, there's Spider-Man. So let's just get into the Iron Man and get rid of Captain America. All right. Now that he's gone, Iron Man is dope. First of all, the accessories alone. Let me pop these out. Let's get into the accessories before I get into the actual figure. You come with 2 blaster, I guess, like flames or projectiles, I guess. It's basically just supposed to be something coming out of his repulsors. And then these are the flames that come out of his boots, I guess, or I guess you could switch them around as well. I don't think that there's like a set way to put them. And then you come with the you get to the Tony Stark head. Actually, kind of looks like Robert Downey Jr. The hair, the facial hair, the eyes, even the eyebrows, everything looks just like him, especially for a figure of this price. Not too shabby. Then you get into the Iron Man. Pretty darn good figure, and I think the best pro about this is the double jointed knee and elbow articulation. Typically with this kind of articulation, it's really rubbery and flexible, and I'm afraid that I'm gonna break it. Like every single time, like I pick up a Spider-Man or a Captain America, I'm like, I don't want to bend those elbows because I feel like they're gonna break. Or the same thing with the knees. This thing is so sturdy. Like every single time you bend the knee, it like clicks. It's like that strong. And then the same thing with the elbow. It like bends and clicks, which is really nice, really strong, and a bit different from all the other Marvel figures of this line and the Infinity War line and all that so far. The hip articulation, not too flexible, but what can you say? Especially with the ankle swivel right here. Not too flexible. But then again, it's a bulky Iron Man figure, so don't expect the best articulation, but do expect the strongest articulation because it is sturdy. The head, really nice. Look at that weathering right there. The black spots from the battle, same thing here. Just looking at the box going into this review, I automatically knew that this would be the best figure in the line, and I am sticking with that opinion for sure. Comes with the most accessories, the best accessories, and it is the best figures. So if you want a comparison shot with another Iron Man, here is this one right here. This is the Iron Man from the Giant Man Build-A-Figure line. And this is just the quick comparison. Put this arm down. Tanner posed it. So as you can see, they are pretty much the same figure, same height. Except this one is obviously more damaged. This one's a little bit brighter. But then again, it is not battle damage, so who cares? All right, getting rid of this. Let's put it next to a Spider-Man. So let's put it next to the Spider-Man in this line, the Captain America Civil War line. And holy moly, you guys, this thing towers over Spider-Man, as it should, but still, this thing absolutely towers over Spider-Man. It's like, it's good. That's a good pose right there. All right. Let's go ahead and compare the Iron Man, the Spider-Man, and the Captain America, and then we can rate them out of 10 for our final review.
So here's a little short comparison. Here is the Spider-Man we just reviewed. Here's the Iron Spider. Here's the homemade suit, and here's the homecoming suit.
All right, so me and Tanner are going to give you our final thoughts in the fashion of scoring them each out of 10. Tanner, what would you rate the Spider-Man out of 10?
I'd give it a solid 8.5. Even though there's some inaccuracies, I think it's a pretty awesome looking Spider-Man, and I think it just looks like Spider-Man, and it's pretty cool.
All right, I would give it a 7 out of 10. Just off with the colors. I mean, I understand this is before Homecoming came out. Spider-Man was briefly in the movie. As a matter of fact, he was 100% CGI in the movie. So they didn't really know what they were doing yet. I'm assuming, at least I hope that's what the excuse is for the off-coloring. But yeah, 7 out of 5 I think is a pretty fair score. It's not bad, but it's definitely not amazing. All right, Tanner, for the Captain America, what would you rate it out of 10?
I'd rate the Okay, I don't know. I give the Captain America a solid 8.5 as well. I think that the shield is very awesome. I've been waiting for a battle damage shield. Also, I really like the paint accuracies on the Captain America, how they painted it, how they made some darkness and battle damage throughout the Captain America. Also, we did get a Steve Rogers head, so I gave it an 8.5.
And I will give it a solid 7.5, as it is a little bit better than Spider-Man, although I feel like they can never nail the head sculpt for Captain America or Steve Rogers. I don't know what the difficulty is or what the issue is. Everything else is awesome. Articulation's great, but the head always throws me off. So that's why I decided to be so critical with the Captain America scoring. 7.5 for me. All right, Tanner. The big one, Iron Man. What do you score it out of 10?
9.5, baby. I think that this Iron Man is just perfect. I would give it a 10. The only problem is I feel like there is some, I don't know, the battle damage parts seem a little like too much on these certain areas. I feel like they should have spread it out a little bit more throughout the figure. It would have been a little bit better. But I think it's very cool that we're getting a MCU Tony Stark head, and that battle damage on the helmet was pretty awesome. Also, we get the 4 repulsor blast things, so it's pretty cool that we get those. So a solid 9.5 for the Iron Man.
I will give it a 9.5 as well. This is definitely my favorite figure in this pack of 3. Again, like Tanner said, I would rate it a 10. However, there is always room for improvement, and agreed with the battle damage. I feel like they could have spread it out a little bit more instead of making it so damaged here, everything else perfect, and so damaged here, everything else perfect. I feel, yeah, there's definitely room for improvement, but for what we got, for the kind of figure that we usually get, this is phenomenal. So overall, I think I'd give this pack a solid 8 out of 10. Tanner, what would you give this pack out of 10?
Getting probably like an 8.5.
All right. So yeah, that seems pretty fair. So those are our initial thoughts. So be sure to stick around for some more videos coming up soon. We have a lot of them, and more vlogs. I know I'm renewing my Disneyland pass pretty soon, coming up on my birthday, which is on Sunday. So, at least I'll be going a lot more, filming some stuff, maybe toy hunts, we'll see. Pressure Tanner into renewing his as well.